During these times, you have to protect your mind, especially if you identify as woman, as she, as her, as mother, daughter, queen, whoever. If you identify as female, especially during these times, you have to protect your mind. We're going through an upgrade. Whether people want to believe it or not, whether you're spiritual or not, regardless of your belief system, I want you to be aware of the fact that we are upgrading. Some people are choosing a certain level of consciousness. These are the people that are choosing to keep political parties in power that have proven to be detrimental to our society. These are people who are choosing to uphold things like misogyny. These are people who are choosing to ignore people's oppression and pain. Those people have chosen what level of consciousness they want to stay rooted in, what reality they want to attach themselves to. That reality within itself comes with a belief system that is driven by a hive mind. People are not thinking for themselves. People are not making decisions that are actually rational. A lot of people are making decisions that are emotional. Whatever can persuade their emotions or control their emotions is what can control them. So if you are conscious, if you consider yourself somebody who thinks for yourself, if you consider yourself somebody who is free from the system, I need you to be aware of what is trying to attack your mind. I also am at a place in my life where I'm ready to speak on my experiences, because there's a lot of people who will not understand, but there's a large percentage of people that will understand. And that is what I had to heal within my mind, the idea that I was alone and that no one understood me. And if I say this, how will this look? And I can't talk about it because I'm not ready. And I had to heal that. I have healed that. This is me healing that. So I've dealt with psychic attacks from the time that I was a little girl. Because I have always been very, very intuitive, because I've had the ability to read people, and I had an amazing reading done, and somebody said something to me. Somebody said something to me. She said something to me that made sense. She was like, "You're a scanner." And that's so true. I just look at people and I just know. I don't know how I know. I just know. And so since I was a little girl, I've always had that ability. And it was like other people also had the ability to like play on my mind. They could see that I was empathetic. They could see that I was vulnerable in a certain way. So they would infiltrate my mind, right? And I kept a lot in. I didn't talk about it. I didn't express it. I just kind of held it in. And I became trapped in the mental prison that I had built for myself because I could pick up on their thoughts. I know this may sound crazy to some people, but again, I'm ready to free myself and speak my truth. I could hear their thoughts. I could hear when they were speaking about me in their mind. And I started to accept that as reality, right? I absorbed that as truth. When I was more naive and vulnerable, I only went with what other people thought about me because I didn't want to be too egotistical. I didn't want to, be grandiose. I wanted to make sure that I was relatable to people. I wanted to make sure that people didn't feel like I was seated above them, because that's another issue that I've had throughout my entire life. People put me on a pedestal and then blame me for them putting me on a pedestal. I can feel that energy. I know that energy, and it always ends the same. It ends with attack. It ends with jealousy and envy. It ends with this wanting what it is that I have, even though all that I try to do is encourage people to tap into their innate power, to tap into who they are, but it's not enough. It's not enough. They still need what it is that I have. So I've dealt with that all of my life. I can scan people and see into people so clear. So clear, easy. And with that gift comes the curse, right? And the curse is if you leave your mind open, your mind is susceptible to attack. A lot of people do not realize that I know how they feel about me. I know what they're saying about me. I know what they're plotting and planning and scheming and X, Y, and Z. A lot of people are unaware of this because they think that their mind is theirs and theirs alone, but we are all connected. Not in the hive mind. The hive mind is something different. That is somebody who is asleep, right? So when people say, oh, they're asleep, I don't do the whole sheep thing because whatever. But in deeper context, I understand what people are saying. It's just a label to identify something. I have always been a rejecter of labels. Like, I don't like labels, By the way, they say Aquariuses are the only like true rebels. I'm being honest. I'm gonna argue and say Cancers, we really get in the field with you. Like, we'll really get in the field with you, to be honest with you. Like, I hear you, but give us our credit, So, but yeah, like the hive mind is something different. That is, a following of the crowd riding the same wavelength without even realizing what wavelength you're riding. But when it comes to universal connection, it means that it's all vibration and frequency. If you send out a channel that is trying to attach itself to my channel, I have the option to reject what it is that you're sending my way. But again, if you are not conscious and aware of your own mind, you may end up accepting something that you do not need to accept. You may end up absorbing and receiving something that you do not need to receive. You're only supposed to be aware of it. You're not supposed to absorb it. You're only supposed to be aware of it. You have to protect your mind. Now, you may say, how do I protect my mind? There is the physical way of doing this, which is just wrapping your hair, and be very intentional about your wrap. What color is it? What material is it? Why are you doing it? You can't just wrap your hair and say, oh, I'm going to protect myself from energies that are sent my way. No, you have to be intentional with your cloth and your material, and you have to speak incantations over your mind. I'm doing this to protect my mind. I'm wearing the color green because it represents the heart. Lead me around heart-centered people and in heart-centered places, so I don't even have to protect myself. I'm just wearing it as an extra layer. Do you see what I'm saying? That is one way to do it. Another way is through your dreams. I'm telling you, those dreams will tell on people. They will tell on you to you. They will reveal the truth. Pay attention to your dreams. In a dream that I had, there was a mutual that I've known for a long time, and I had a dream one night they cut my hair. Somebody that I never had no beef with them. I barely knew them. I went to school with them, but that's as deep as it went. The day that I removed them from my socials, that night, I had a dream about them cutting my hair. They were siphoning my energy. They were trying to interject in my energetic field. They were sending me thoughts. And I had revealed to a friend that I was aware of the fact that this person was very, very... I'm going to be careful with my words. I'm going to just say it. That's what Spirit's saying. Release yourself. Free yourself, girl. Please. This person was very lustful towards me. I'm married. It's him and only him. That's it. He's the only one cycling through my mind. That's it. But I know, especially with men, I know the energy that's there. I'm very aware of the energy. And so sometimes when this person would watch my story on Instagram, I knew that they were battling lust, but that ain't got shit to do with me. I can't help that I'm fine. I can't help that I'm the dime and mighty fine. Like that's not my fault. But another thing that I could have did was I could have blocked this person a lot sooner. Instead of ignoring that energy, I could have blocked it a lot sooner, because spirit was saying, their spirit was very, very upset that they no longer had access to me, and they were retaliating spiritually. Do you know the importance of your hair? Your hair is your spiritual antennas. It helps you scan the environment and pick up on things that you may not be aware of. It is connected to your subconscious mind. Okay? Don't let nobody play in your hair. That's another one. But let me wrap this up. Basically, what I'm saying is those dreams will reveal to you who, what, when, where, how, all of the details. Spirit will be very, very loud and very, very clear, but you have to pay attention to your dreams, and then you have to act on it. When you wake up, you rebuke it, okay? You rebuke that. Do not accept that over your life. You have to be intentional about your refusal to participate in any of the siphoning, mind games, energetic swaps, at whatever they are trying to do. You have to make sure that you are protecting yourself. That is a part of protecting your mind. Okay? The next thing that I would say is, when somebody, this is a telltale sign. Hear me and hear me good, okay? Forget all the videos on, if you're thinking about somebody constantly, that means that they're manifesting you back into your life, back into their life. Like, okay, all right. But sometimes it's because they're gossiping about you. They're talking about you. That it is true. You are running through their mind. They are talking about you. They are thinking about you. Sometimes they plotting on you and they scheming on you. Okay? When you start getting the repetitive thoughts of somebody else, that is a telltale sign that they are sending you psychic attacks. Hands down, I'm telling you, years of experience, I know what I'm talking about. Hear me and hear me good. Okay? If you are randomly washing the dishes and this person's name just pops up, or it's not about like thinking, it's different from thinking about somebody. I wonder what this person is doing, because again, we're all connected. And when it's your intimate personal relationships, sometimes you need to check on that person. If you claim to love them and care about them, and you know it's good energy, it's not no weirdo stuff, that is them sending out a telepathic signal that, hey, I love you. And I'm here, and I kind of wish you would check in on me, and I'm thinking about you in a loving way. I hope you're thinking about me in a loving way. That's different. When it is like, and especially when it's like devious stuff, like hear me out, because I know that like we want to assume responsibility of our thoughts, but you have to be aware of when it's not your thoughts. When you're randomly doing something and somebody's name pops up, or like, oh, I can't stand them, I don't like them, and you don't got no beef with these people. These are people that you don't got no beef with them. It ain't no problem. It's just random thoughts. Baby, then people don't mean you no good. And you know what you need to do? Switch the energy around. You go meditate. You go listen to mantras or music. You dance. You move. You take a walk. You literally say, I rebuke that. You got to do whatever you got to do to reject that energy, because once you accept it, I promise you, it's going to be a stream of their thoughts. And sometimes it's good to be able to tap into that, because again, when you need to protect yourself, sometimes you need to know what they're thinking. Yeah, sometimes you need to know what's cycling in their sick mind. But if you don't want to fall down that rabbit hole because you already know, that is where we mess up, y'all. When we already know, what is the purpose of fueling the fire? What is the purpose of staying and remaining in their thought forms? It serves you nothing. It serves you nothing. It is simply a distraction. Again, bad mind, harm to your mind, because it's distracting you. You could be pouring into yourself and in your purpose, but no, you're falling down a rabbit hole of how you're going to protect yourself from these people and why is this happening? It makes you paranoid. It makes you uneasy. It makes you feel all these feelings, and that is accepting the witchcraft, right? That's accepting the psychic attacks, because then you start thinking about how to protect yourself and how to deflect the attacks and how to get them to get out of your energetic bubble and blah 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 blah, and you don't even realize that you're allowing them to encroach closer and closer and closer, you're merging energies. You have to separate energies. So this has been 14 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. That's just a little quick thing. I will be back. But protect your mind, especially if you're a woman. Baby, they trying to siphon your energy and your power. And yes, I do mean that. They want what it is that you have. Especially if it's other women, very dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. I love you. Protect your mind. Be in good health. Be in good wealth. Be in good abundance. Okay.